welcome back to another video. So today, refurbishing controllers. You can see I got a lot of controllers. Got one of these, my most prized controller, but as you can see, this is the green jungle, I think, controller. We got probably 16 controllers out of this lot and 4 in the other lot. These are just a couple of them. We're going to be fixing this one. This is the most dirtiest one I could find. It has some weird, like a mirror. You can see yourself, guys, and a bunch of sticker marks. Pretty scratched. You can see all that dirt stuck in there. Clean that up. So let's get to it. What you're gonna need is your screwdriver. Just have my iFixit screwdriver right here. We're going to be taking out the screws. There's going to be 7 screws here and then 2 screws inside there. You might need a smaller Phillips, but we're going to use a bigger Phillips for these screws. And we're just going to J00 Phillips that you're going to be using for this. And for the bigger screws, we are using the J1. J1 and then the double 3 for J1 might work good, or you can use the J0. That's what I recommend for the screws. Take all these big screws and the small screws. Use a 00. That's what I recommend using. So put these screws in a separate spot. And let's see how dirty it is on the inside. I always like looking at that. Normally controllers ain't too bad on the inside, but they still get dirt, especially on the exterior. Okay, let's open it up, guys. Be careful and pull. There you go. There should be any wires connected. Holy crap, look at that. Look at that dirt. Might not be able to see it that great, but yeah, that's pretty damn dirty. Now to take off this, you want to take out this plug. What I recommend, first take these little bumpers out because these always fall out. It doesn't really matter. You could take a flathead and sort of pull on here. What I just do is I just take my fingernail, get it under there, and just gently wiggle it out, right like that. Take off this piece, and you want to take off this. This is for the rear trigger, so you want to take this little pin. I normally use with a screwdriver, but you might break these off, these 2 little clips. You just want to take them off right like that, and then you can move this out of the way. And there should be 3 screws. Don't take off the black screw. Wait until last, and I'll show you why. But we're going to take off, move this out of the way. Take out these 3 screws. Put the bumpers out of the way. After you take these 3 screws out, it should be able to come right out like that. And we have the whole assembly. You can either replace this, figure out something, but that's the assembly, as you can see. It's very loose. We can take out that black screw right there. You want to have tension. Watch. I'll show you why. Watch. Unscrew it. See? That is tension. So you want to hold it down like this and then unscrew it because it has spring tension. Nothing's going to fly out. It's just some tension. There's no springs that might accidentally shoot in your eye or worse, lose it. And it should have 2 tabs here. Don't you be careful with these because I have bent these and broke them off. So it should be 2 tabs right here. You just want to use your fingernail, gently get one and pull it up a little bit so rest on it and take the other one. Like that. There you go. Now we're going to take the top off. There you go. And we can take this little motherboard. It just comes right off. Set this to the side. We'll take off this little black piece gear. Set that to the side. And this white piece with gears on it should set to the side. They all come off. This thing is what has the spring tension. take a look at it. Well, we need to figure out, this is the way we could fix it. You could mess with this bowl right here, because normally that's like concave too much, but yeah, it's kind of a pain to do. But people say put a little bit of epoxy, but we're going to do it is we're going to restore these. What happens is, I'll show you how to take this apart. Take this off. You want to be careful with this, but you just want to take this thing, you want to rotate it like that. Take this little washer piece and the spring, set that to the side, and this thing, there should be a little teeth there. You have to pull it through like that. There you go. And that's how you get that off. Now it's fully disassembled. Okay. Now what normally is the issue with these? This thing goes in here just like this, as you can see. This piece goes right in here. Sometimes it has wiggle room. You want that to be flush. You want it to be too tight, but you want that to, it runs into here, and you move the stick, it comes up through here, and then this little gear moves. So you want this to be nice and flush. See, there's a little bit of play there, not a huge amount. Then take a look at the other one. As you can see, that is chewed up. See that? That is chewed up. It's supposed to be flat. Well, not flat, but you know what I mean. Stick it through. As you can see, there's a pretty bit of a gap in there. So that's the problem right there. And also this bowl itself, it rides in there. That could be the issue. And also if you have side to side play, it's normally to do with these little teeth right here, as you can see. See those little grooves there and here? We'll see if we get really close for you. See at the top of that, it looks a little bit chewed up. Other side doesn't look too bad. It's a little chewed up because it wiggles and it connects on these little teeth, as you can see. Should be two little notches on either side, and that's where those little teeth go in there. And if they get loose, they'll wobble around. Okay. Sorry, I can't hear myself. I have my earbuds in, but yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do what we can actually fix is this one. That is pretty wobbly. It seems to be pretty flat, but I'm still gonna get a file. Go grab a file. Point broke off, but that's better for me because I won't scratch anything. But just a flat file. You can either have a flat one or some square one like this. Just gonna go in and file that flat, not too much, and then we're gonna get a heat gun and sort of crimp it down a little bit. Because if you bend it out, they will crack. I had that happen on one of my controllers. But we're just gonna file this down ever so slightly, so that these teeth look straight. As you can see, it looks pretty straight, all symmetrical from this end all the way to the other end, and in the center it's pretty symmetrical. Now we're just gonna pinch it, squeeze it with a heat gun. So let's do that. Get my snap on. And you could use whatever pliers. This is what I'm going to use. But we're just going to pinch it here and slowly heat it up. As you can see, as you can't see, flat. It's a little bit mushed in more, but that made it look beautiful. It used to be all white, now it's all nice. It gets pretty hot, so I'm just gonna Let's see if this fits. It probably might be too tight. Oh my gosh, that is perfect. Holy crap. Now this side, we're going to fix this. This is going to be a pain because this is really, really chewed up. But yeah. If I had some metal to set this on, then I'll be pretty good, but I don't really trust this heat gun anywheres at all, because this could burn something pretty badly. So always watch out with a heat gun. Heat guns are very good, but they're very hot and they could melt metal. And maybe not melt. They can melt some pretty thin metal, and they could melt plastic, rubber, whatever, really easily. Burn paper. They're very, very dangerous. So watch out when you use them. Just gonna set it right like this. Should not be too hot. I'm just setting on the plastic off to the side. I'm gonna get this one. File this too. As you can see, that is a lot better. The heat gun, do the exact same thing. That is still reasonably hot, and it cools down pretty decent. Okay, just set that down. It doesn't melt anything. And as you can see, it's pretty good. It's a little bent in, but we'll see if it fits. It's a pretty damn good fit. Holy crap. As you can see right here, it's a little bit bent in, but that should work just fine. Now we'll assemble this, and I just hope it works. Hope this guy on this group actually said the truth. I'm not saying he's lying, I'm just saying I hope what he said is correct and actually works good. Or well enough that will fix it. That it'll fix it correctly, that is. Put this through, back through the opposite way, put this back on. When you do the spring, there's a thicker side, a more open side, and a thinner side. Not thinner, but more wider. The wider side you want to go down. And make sure it fits in there. Then this thing, they should have a little bevel on it. I don't think you can see it, guys. See this little bevel there? I want the bevel to go down onto the spring like that. We're going to get this. I'm going to add this way down, not this way, but this way. Put it in and then twist around. There you go. Now we're just going to align it so that you want to align it so that this gear lines up with this spot right here. So flip it around so that this gear, you could just turn it. Make sure you turn it around. Make sure you turn this and this around, not this at once. It'll fly out. Just make sure they both crossed. And then move both at the same time. We're just going to make sure it gets in that little line too, because this needs to fit in there. Oh, wow. That works incredibly good. Look at that. It's a little bit of wiggle, but wow, I did not expect that. Wow, I did not expect that. What we're gonna do is that is like a good 7. It went from like a 4 out of 10 to a 7 out of 10, pretty damn quick. So we're just gonna take this off, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little bit of work on to make it a little less wobbly. You just want to get, remember I said that piece right there, you want to make sure that gap a little, get a gap a little smaller. Okay guys, so I'm not using my headset, it got dead, so what we're doing now is I figured an idea. I was gonna put some on the joystick, but that's kind of a stupid idea. So what I did is I just took a little bit of these two little pins here and here. I just put a little bit of super glue on either side, left and right on both sides. And just make it a little thicker, those little posts, so that it fits on there. The already sort of stretched out, sort of bent out of shape, wider section on here. You could either replace this, but it could be both of them could be wore down, so I'm just gonna put a little super glue. It might not work perfect, but it should definitely help. I'm gonna see if I can put a little bit of super glue dot right here on that little dot. See that dot right there? That circle? That's how I'm gonna put a little super glue on there. And we'll see if that does anything. It might not, it might, but we'll just take a look at it, see if it helps in the slightest. It is worth it, but it should add a nice smooth finish. There we go, a little dollop on there. Boom, there we go. Add a little dollop on there, and we will wait until it dries, and we'll see if that fixes it. These are just some things that to help. Oh dang, my arm looks ripped. Damn, dude, look at that. But it's dry, and we'll get back to you and see if this works. I'm just trying to tweak it to make it as good as I possibly can get it. You don't want to put too much super glue on something that will wear down. This might not wear down. I'll put a little bit of grease in there. But you don't want to do like the main, like basically instead of mushing these down, fill it with super glue, it will eventually wear out pretty quick. You really want to put super glue sparingly on some parts that doesn't rub as much. So that's what I'm doing. And yeah. So we're going to wait until this dries and we'll see you guys there. Okay guys, and this is a before and after. As you can see, this is the after. A little bit of play up and down, as you can see. Just a little bit. Nothing crazy. And that is crazy. For free. These are normally like 15, 20 bucks. A good one is about 20. A cheaper one is about 10 to 12. That is crazy. Look. I mean, there's just slight play. See? A little bit of play back. This is crazy play. A lot of play for like any other controller, but for N64, that ain't too bad. As you can see, there's a little bit of up and down play. There's a little bit of the side. There's a little more, but it still bounces back to the center. So no grittiness. That is a 8 out of 10. I'm actually gonna check my. So you can see I have a whole box right there, and I got all this to do. It's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in there. Yeah. So don't mind my guns up there, guys. But I got some more over here. The one that I bought on my controller. See. Let's see if it has any more. Okay, let's see. I think I got scammed, dudes. I spent 25 on that controller about 6 months ago. I spent like 25 on that controller about 6 months ago. And now I just fixed this. And it's less, and it said it had a good tight stick in the controller. This one I just fixed. DIY, that was, you saw how bad it was. Is now literally like, there's virtually no up and down wobble. Side to side's a little bit, but that's pretty good, guys. I'll say it's a 7 out of 10. That's pretty crazy. Let's check out my good controllers, because these are actually tight sticks. Let's see. Okay, so hope you guys like that. We'll get back to cleaning this. See you guys there. But that is just crazy, guys. These were the tight stick controllers. You can see, look. I mean, this is some play, but this was the tight stick controllers that I had in the lot that I put here because that they had decently tight sticks. This probably is the best. And it still has some wobble to it, but now I just refurbished this and it literally has just about the same amount of wobble to it. See? This has a little more actually. That's pretty crazy for how bad it used to be. It used to be like literally that bad. Like look at that. It's like nothing. That's crazy. That is crazy, guys. I just hope this helps you guys out, and I want to appreciate all you guys for watching. Now let's get on to fixing the rest of this controller and see how good it works. We'll plug it in my N64, and we'll see. Want a video with that GameCube, guys? I'll make a video with that. If you want. If you want to do any playthroughs, because I was gonna add this to my collection. I might just sell it because GameCube games, as you know, is very expensive. They're like at least some of them are like 80 bucks, 70 or 80 bucks for a GameCube game, which is outrageous. Next video, we'll refurbish this. This is probably the worst joystick I've ever seen. Look at that. There's literally like nothing there. Look at that. It just boom, boom. It just limped the whole thing. It just like, look at that. Just completely broke. This is a beautiful control. I really like these. Here's another one that I cleaned. As you can see, it looks really nice. Like, look at that. Wow. It looks beautiful. I really like the way it looks. Shimmers. I'm really happy that what I did with that. They had some pretty big gouges on here. See, I sanded it down a little bit on the top. It looks a little hazy. And I had some pretty big gouges. I filled them in and polished and sanded it in, and it works pretty dang good. Ever seen in my entire life. Looks like it's completely. Something has to be broken in there, to be honest. If it's not, I will be surprised. See you guys.